Is today expected to preside over a launch of the National Tree Planting Day. The event will take place at the Moi Forces Academy in Kamukunji sub-county. Also expected during this event is Nairobi County Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko. The theme of this year's event is Panda Miti, Penda Miti. And as we speak, President Uhuru Kenyatta has just taken the stage. Let's listen in.
Ningependa wauliza nyote tusimame tu kwa dakika moja kwa heshima ya wale ambao wamepoteza maisha yao kwa sababu ya mafuriko katika sehemu mbalimbali za taifa letu la Kenya. Asanteni sana. Watoto wa Moi Forces Academy, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Kenya oye. Afrika Mashariki oye. Hongera kwenu, naona mwajua wimbo wenu wa taifa, mwajua wimbo wa Afrika Mashariki. Tuendelee namna hiyo. Wacha wazazi waendelee na ukabila. Nyinyi, dunia ya Afrika Mashariki ndio yenu. Si ni namna hiyo? Si tumekataa ukabila? Na tunataka kuwa wananchi watukufu wa Afrika Mashariki. Si ni kweli? God bless you all very much. Fellow Kenyans and our distinguished guests, I take this opportunity to thank you all for joining me today. And indeed, it is a great pleasure to see so many distinguished men and women, children, from all parts coming to join us and to mark this occasion of tree planting. But even as we do so, I begin in a somber note, reflecting on the tragedy that has touched parts of our country. Large parts of our country have endured heavy rain since March, and unusual floods have followed, whose consequences we have seen: disruption of lives, destruction of property and infrastructure. Few parts of our country have remained untouched, and many have lost life. Others have been displaced as a result of these floods. The Tana River and Nakuru incidents, in which we have lost many Kenyans in particular, are also very distressing. Many of the victims in Nakuru were children. They were our sons and daughters, and to know that their lives were cut short so early is to know a deep sorrow and anguish. And I pray that the families of those who have lost, who we have lost, will be comforted. I pray that they will be granted the grace to bear this terrible loss, and to let them know that my government will give every support in this moment of grief and difficulty so that they can rebuild their lives and livelihoods. Indeed, every family in the Republic that has lost a loved one can rely on a similar guarantee from my government that we will stand with you, we will support with you. Wherever you are in the country, we are with you. We will stand with you because it is our character, and that is what we do as Kenyans. I personally have been humbled yet again by the unity and resilience of our people. When it became clear that the floods would be more serious than we had all expected, Kenyans right across the Republic stepped up to protect their neighbors and friends and to comfort each other in this difficult time. That spirit of unity and solidarity extended from the Red Cross, the Lions Club, Rotarians, and all manner of faith-based and community-based organizations, all the way to ordinary Kenyans. All were quick to offer support to those who have been touched by this tragedy. I ought also to mention our development partners and other friends of Kenya who have given freely and who have stood with us, and I thank them for their generosity. Indeed, today I offer mine and Kenya's gratitude to all those who have been good neighbors, to all those who have been their brothers and sisters' keepers. And these include the European Union mission, which has made available 1.5 million euros in response to the Red Cross appeal for additional emergency support. The United Kingdom, that has offered 1.3 million euros through the development agency DFID, and 400,000 euro from the Dutch government. That makes a total of 3.3 million euros going to the Red Cross from our European partners. We say thank you, and we are grateful. We in government will also continue to do our part as we continue to rescue marooned Kenyans, give water and essential medicines where they are called for, intervene and continue to bring relief food, and restore clean water systems and sanitation where necessary. At this point, let me thank our men and women in uniform, and indeed all our public servants, for their heroic work. Time and again, you have gone above and beyond the call of duty to save and serve your countrymen. You have endured danger so that other Kenyans would not have to. We are grateful for the interventions that you have made in various parts of the country, rescuing Kenyans in different and difficult situations. That said, we who serve Kenyans must also do more, and we will. And today I also announce that an extra 1 billion shillings will be made available to the Kenya Red Cross to continue its relief work, in addition to the 1.5 billion shillings already set aside. The multi-sector team in government tasked with responding to these events will receive every support it needs so that it can keep every Kenyan safe and help those affected rebuild their lives. Kenyans expect no less, and they will get no less. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we mourn, it reminds us of the importance of this day. The matter of our forests and our environment, as will soon become clear, are matters that are not distinct from the recent events of drought and floods as we have seen recently. Some here might recall our first National Tree Planting Day in 1964, when the first president planted a mugumo tree at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. Kenya has since changed beyond recognition. We are healthier, better educated, and indeed more prosperous as a nation than we were in 1964. We have come a long way. Some things, however, haven't changed. Our environment remains the bedrock of our development. For every sector of our economy depends upon it, and it remains vital in its own right. Our forests account for 4% of our GDP. Much of our water for domestic and industrial use comes from the towers from Mount Kenya and the Aberdares in the east to Mount Elgon and Mau in the west, and many other water towers across the country. And ladies and gentlemen, in that dependence on our water towers lies the trouble. At 7%, our forest cover remains way too low. It cannot supply the goods and services required for our development, and certainly not for a country growing as quickly as we are. The signs are clear. Water is scarce and getting scarcer. Recent droughts have been unusually severe, and as we have had cause to remember today, the floods that we endure are ever more serious. And we must also be perfectly clear: the tragedies we have endured and whose victims we have remembered today remind us that climate change matters. It is a mortal threat to the people and the prosperity of our country. We must learn the lessons of this tragedy, and we must learn them once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the first step to learning these lessons is to respect the wisdom of the past, wisdom now enshrined in our supreme law. At Article 69, the Constitution requires us that we grow our tree cover to 10% of Kenya's landmass. Given the severity of our challenges, my administration has set out to achieve that goal by 2022, and we will do so by intensifying tree planting and protection. The target is set. What remains is the hard work. None of us can sit idle when so much remains to be done. All of us will need to join in. Wherever you are, you can do your part by planting a tree, or even better, by planting yours and helping your neighbor plant his or hers. The effort demands organization, and that is why my government offered a framework for engagement with communities, stakeholders, and private partners through the Forest Conservation and Management Act and the National Forest Program. And that is why we are working with the counties to develop transitional implementation plans for the devolved forestry functions. And that is why county governments will need to apply themselves to the work the plans have set out for them. There is absolutely no time to waste, and of course, the national government will also play its part. Much has already been done, but we will also take 3 additional steps today. First, it is clear to all of us, I hope, that this portfolio of new policy calls for a careful matching of efforts between the counties, the national administration, and between arms of government. To effect the new policies, national government representatives in the counties must work together even more closely than they have done in the past, and this they are so directed to do. We will also need to make the most of every bit of skill and experience that we have. The chiefs, nurseries ought to be revived immediately. With the help of the Kenya Forest Service and the Ministry of Agriculture, the Kenya Forestry Research Institute, as well as community-based organizations. None of this will matter much if we don't preserve the forests we already have. So I must ask county commissioners to integrate conservation and environmental protection into their community policing. We cannot protect our forests and mitigate climate change unless we teach our sons and daughters how to manage our natural resources. So today I must ask the Ministry of Environment and Forestry and the Ministry of Education to consider how best to teach our children a new appreciation of the dangers of climate change and of the necessity of preserving our environment as demanded by the Climate Change Act of 2016. It is important to complete the nationalization of the tree planting effort. So I expect every child in every school in the Republic to be taught to adopt and nurture a tree, or for that matter, a number of trees. But that is nowhere near enough. We owe it to those who have suffered these tragedies to teach our children how to make sure their generation never has to witness such tragedies. I expect them to see a clear plan and to present to us a clear plan for the teaching of the relevant skills in all educational institutions. Indeed, as you will recall, in 2014, I did launch the Green Schools program, and under that program, 10% of all school land was to be covered by trees. We now ask the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, as well as the Ministry of Education, to ensure that this is done as part of incorporating climate change into our school curriculum. The environmental lesson will not be confined to our children. We have seen that climate change is a deadly threat, but we also know that our environment, with all its natural wealth, offers broad prospects for growth and prosperity. Indeed, it is clear that if we are to achieve the ambitious goals we have set for ourselves in the Big Four, environmental conservation and forestry development must be more prominent than they have been. We in government see potential from new green jobs and entrepreneurial opportunities for our young people. To liberate the energy, innovation, and enterprise of our young people, we will look into arranging opportunities for green bonds and for tax rebates on forest products, and for all the other incentives we will need to make the environment work for our young people. That work will be done in partnership with the private sector, many of whom have shown by their contribution to this event and to the relief of the recent tragedies that they are wholly committed to preserving Kenya's environment. I am deeply grateful, and I urge those who have yet to commit to come join us now. Come so that we can heal and renew this our land together. Today's tree planting is undertaken on all 47 counties, and it will continue in all of them throughout the year until our targets are not just achieved, but surpassed. Indeed, to honor all of those who distinguished themselves this year and in years to come, I will be establishing a presidential environmental award scheme. For it is time now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor the patriots upon whom the preservation of our natural riches depends. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I once again reach out to every single Kenyan to continue to support us in this agenda of rebuilding our environment, not just for us, but for generations to come. Nikimalizia, nataka kushukuru Gavana Sonko, amesema hapa ya kwamba, na ni ukweli, miaka karibu 3-4 iliyopita tulikuja hapa karibu Mathare na pamoja na county government ya wakati huo tukakubaliana ya kwamba tutasafisha mji wetu wa Nairobi pamoja, na tutaanza programs mpaka at ward level, na ndivyo nilihakikishiwa. Hayakufanyika. Leo hii tumeanza tena hapa nje, na gavana amenihakikishia ya kwamba safari hii hatutasimama mpaka tuwe na mji ambao Wakenya wote, haswa wakaaji wa Nairobi, watafurahia na watajivunia. Hii takataka jameni lazima tuimalize. Au ni namna gani wenzangu? Ndio wananchi waweze kuishi kwa starehe kwa mji wao, na sio ati ni kazi ngumu. Na tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutasaidiana. Sisi tuongeze pesa kidogo, lakini hiyo pesa tunataka iende kwa vijana wetu. Tunataka hiyo pesa iende kwa vijana wetu, kwa sababu hii kucontract watu hapa kila siku na hawafanyi kazi, ni pesa wanaweka kwa mifuko, hakuna haja jameni. Vijana wapate kazi na mji pia uwe mji safi. Ningewaomba tushikilie hivyo, so that Governor Sonko, by the time our terms are coming to an end, we can truly say that we have restored that great green city in the sun, which is what it was known as once upon a time, and a city where all Kenyans, not just Nairobians, were proud of. That is our target, and we must work together to achieve it. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, nasema asanti. Tumesema pia, kwa sababu tunajua shida kubwa ambaye inatuzuia au labda itaweza kutuzuia kufika ile kiwango tunataka kufika ya kupanda miti. Tunataka parastato zetu zote wafuate ile direction wanajeshi wetu wametupatia ya kupanda miti. Toa part and parcel of your CSR, your community work, at least 10% of it dedicated to the environment. Help in planting seedlings that can be distributed to Kenyans across the country so that we can achieve our goal. Hii kazi sio kazi ya mtu mmoja. Hii ni kazi yetu sisi wote wa Kenya milioni karibu sasa 45. Tufanye kazi hii pamoja, tuwe na Kenya ambayo tutafurahia. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, nasema Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde. Asanteni kwa kunisikiza. Asanteni sana.
All right, that's President Uhuru Kenyatta there, who has just concluded his speech at the tree planting in Kamukunji. A few of the highlights. He began by, first of all, making sure that he's condoled with those that lost their lives, and families, rather, of those that lost their lives at the Solai Dam tragedy. A moment of silence was observed there. Also, the European donors, rather, have also donated about 3.3 million euros to the Kenya Red Cross. The Kenyan government has donated about 1 billion that will also be allocated to Red Cross. This is with the aspect that as a country we want to make sure by the year 2020 we plant 250 million trees. 250 million trees, meaning that every single year 50 million are planted. All right, we are taking a quick break here on Weekend at 1. We'll be right back with a few more stories to quickly bring you up to speed. So stay with us. We'll be right back.